Hi guys and welcome back to Yashi. Today with another crypto news update. Nice and quick and let's get started. Today we got some more political news. We're gonna start with CoinDesk. Fed previewers. Crypto market sees smaller rate hikes from December. Major bank warns lower doesn't mean lower. So basically this is saying that the market is expecting that although tomorrow, I believe tomorrow the Federal Reserve will have the meeting, will have the release of the information. Although people know that the next meeting we will have a larger hike, people expect 0.75%, the market is expecting that after that the Fed will start slowing down the hikes. Why? Because there are multiple signs of data showing a slowdown in consumption. A few days ago on other updates I showed how, for example, a transportation and freight business dropped their transportation costs from 30 all the way to 70%. So we're starting to see a couple of signs. They did not result in the past CPE and CPI report, but stuff is starting to kick in. We'll see how that affects the next inflation report. While Fed may slow down rate hikes for December, it could keep raising the borrowing costs for longer, according to major investment banks. So investment banks are a little bit more, let's say, conservative about it. The market, though, seems to be very optimistic. And this is why we see informations like cryptocurrencies pumping. Some of them also a consequence of other things that are happening. For example, Elon Musk tweets Twitter purchase, which is, for example, pumping Dogecoin. But on the other hand, the price of 67 tokens dropped more than 90% following their issuance, on-chain data shows. Whether that happened, so they issued many tokens as in typical, let's say, cryptocurrency space that had to do with this happening. Baby Doge Twitter, Doge Trump, Space Twitter Doge, this kind of stuff. These coins were blocked immediately by the blockchains, fell 90%, as they were, let's say, seen as scam coins by the different blockchains. Let me see if it confirms here. Over 42 tokens were marked by PeckShield as honeypots, a term that describes illicit tokens that charge permissions of unsuspecting users' crypto wallets. So there's also some legal scam stuff out there. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Porta Finance team returns for second shot at DeFi bond project. This one is interesting. Porta Finance tried to bring the bonds to the crypto environment. They failed completely the first time. A few months ago. Now they're trying to bring it back. Bonds, as you know, is the way for normally companies or the government to raise money. It's basically a loan. They're trying to bring the same concept into the cryptocurrency world, specifically for a DAO project, for the DAO project to be able to raise money, not only through selling coins, like it normally was happening until now, but also through these bonds that are expected to pay all the way from 10 to 20% APY. I mean, on a bond, if you hear bond, you don't think about super high yields, so this is kind of crazy. But of course, in the crypto market, everything is pumped much more. It's like staking, or AKA, which is, I call it the, let's say, crypto version of a saving account, of course, with the risk that comes with. Dogecoin led the packing among cryptocurrencies in October with 70 times Bitcoin gains. Elon Musk Twitter 44 billion deal drove speculation of Shiba Inu breed team meme coin, which more than doubled in price during the month. So Dogecoin surpassed the gains of many other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, meaning that the gap between, is becoming more dependent than Bitcoin. Of course, it's more dependent on other factors, such as Elon Musk's tweet. We have to see if it will actually bring some kind of utility, but with the potential integration with Twitter, we'll see. I think he has plans for it. Now on to crypto news. First one is very important. CBDC, Indian Central Bank begins digital rupee pilots. Yes, they brought out the rupee. Yes, they made it a central bank digital currency. They're testing it out. This is another big attempt by big government. I mean, India, we're talking about more than 1 billion, almost 2 billion people, I believe. I'm trying to make the rupee digital. Will this bring more control to the government, or will it bring more freedom to the people? That is the question. That's what we're going to observe. How I opened up this article too because I was kind of interested about what financial advisors say about Bitcoin. How much to invest in Bitcoin in 2022? This is an article I'm reading, not financial advice. Do your research. And kind of happy to see that the general concept of investing are valid here too. So invest only in your discretionary income, dollar cost average, don't put everything in at once, be prepared for volatility, so invest and forget about it. Appetite for risk, be open to risk. And don't put all eggs in one basket, don't buy only Bitcoin. So concept is always there, it's always the same, it's also in crypto with an addition of high volatility. Huobi Crypto Exchange denies mass layoffs and exec resignations. We saw, Huobi is one of the examples, but we saw many other companies and news outlets releasing news about crypto companies trying to lay off people. One of them was Huobi, who denies the mass layoffs and exec resignations. Just to bring up some positivity in this world that has been kicked with negativity and FUD in the past year. Nice and slow, won't go into it too much into detail. This one is interesting. NBA player Steph Curry files trademark for Curryverse, enables fans to earn free NFTs. So NBA saw access to the metaverse multiple times, NFTs and stuff, and now we're seeing single players file for trademarks for metaverses. In this case, I believe it's more focused to for NFTs rather than a metaverse, because building a metaverse is expensive. Maybe he wants to integrate his NFTs. We don't know. Fact is, we now have single people trying to access metaverse and NFTs. Also bigger people. This is an NBA player. Last crypto news article here. South Korean police shut down $472,000 group chat-based crypto fraudsters. It's nice to see that in a very risky world, governments are trying to block at least the ones that are doing harm to it. Because one of the main problems of crypto is scams and stuff. There's still a lot. If you're not, if you're a beginner investor, you're very exposed to this kind of risk. All the fake emails you get from the fake wallet companies that get your data and stuff. You gotta be careful. So I'm kind of happy to see these kind of news. Like the other day, we saw the news about the guy who was stealing the Bored Ape Yacht Club's NFTs. So kind of happy about seeing this. Cointelegraph. Dogecoin rallies 150% in 4 days, but Doge new most overbought. But Doge now most overbought since April 2021. So Dogecoin is being bought more. Is overbought. Dogecoin is overbought. We saw the same rallies that we saw during the crypto rally in 2021. In a moment where nobody's really investing in crypto as much. I'm the captain now, Musk shops Twitter board, becomes sole director, of course, bringing in much more power, which again can have an effect on at least Dogecoin. Having more power, he can take quicker decisions. Of course, that will put it here on this. Makes sense. El Salvador Bitcoin purchase information can be made public. I didn't read this through the whole time, so I'm gonna read it with you now. As Development Bank of El Salvador, Bandesal created a 150 million trust fund to guarantee the convertibility to dollars for citizens and merchants. We know that El Salvador was the first state to start buying Bitcoin on a larger scale. And now they want to make it more accessible to people. So they created a trust fund to guarantee the convertibility to dollars for citizens and merchants. With disclosures, but much of the data is being secretive. Publicly available information hints that El Salvador purchased 2.3 thousand Bitcoin to date, which have fallen off. Wow, they lost 45. These guys lost $50+ million. I mean, you have a state that is diamond handing Bitcoin a lot here, right? Pretty interesting. Now there's something for me. I don't understand. I mean, the information can be public, but you can't see how much was bought, so it doesn't really make sense what they put here on the headline. Last but not least, nifty news, GameStop NFT market goes live, Hong Kong NFT concept, and more. I'm gonna focus on the first two. One of our favorite stocks of 2021, Wall Street Bets. GameStop created an NFT market, which is really cool, together with Immutable X, and they're gonna mix it up with many games like Illuvium. I don't know if you remember these guys here in the 2021 crypto bull run. It was mentioned multiple times with NFTs. So they're integrating the two, which is really good to know. Now, very quick on to Hong Kong. Hong Kong wants to use NFTs for stuff like meetings and concepts with a proof of concept, let's say, proof of concept doesn't really make sense, to serve as a proof of attendance to events. So they would like to bring some utility to NFT worlds, specifically for meetings now. Will they try to expand in other sections? I think they will. We saw a lot of news articles on Hong Kong in the past week. They were talking about giving more access to retailers, but retailers need to be certified. Now they're trying to integrate NFTs for meetings. I believe that Hong Kong is really trying to become the real hub for China, and then maybe China will follow. And why do I think so? Hong Kong has been is now basically under control of China. I used to live there, funny thing. And when it was still independent, China took control over it, but it's still giving it, I think they're using it kind of like a pilot program, test stuff out in Hong Kong and then bring it to China. And while that is happening, China remains a little bit more conservative, but we'll see. I might be wrong, I might not be. Not financial advice, do your research. Guys, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Ciao.